YouTube is live.
Go to Pinterest for
Facebook will be on in like 3 seconds.
Hello, guys. I am Tara, the author of the Dining on a Dime cookbook, where you can eat better, spend less, and cut hundreds off your grocery bill with your first trip to the grocery store. We have over 1,200 recipes and tips right in here to help you get out of debt by saving money on your grocery bill.
Whoa.
Wasn't that good?
That was good. Okay, you're live now.
Go to...
Just kidding.
Go to Pinterest for me.
Becky, you got your notice today. Yay.
Go to Pinterest.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to deal with what you were doing.
So we are... Here, hold on.
Oh.
I didn't get a picture that I needed here to show real quick.
Hi, everyone. It's murky and kind of chilly in Colorado.
It is? Oh.
Yes.
Yes, it is. You gotta,
outside for a week.
you gotta love Colorado.
It is very, very murky.
Okay,
It's actually been
so-
cold for the past.
That one right there. And... Okay, let's see.
So today you're going to talk about an easy way to get out of debt?
I'm going to talk about an easy way to get out of debt. Let's see, which ones has more impact, that one or that one?
Oh, that one. Except it's vertical.
Okay. So today we are talking about the one super easy way to get out of debt, and that is stop spending money that you don't have. Thank you for visiting us. Please go check us out at livingonadime.com.
And we'll
Like,
see you next
subscribe,
time.
and share, and grab our cookbook. Bye.
Okay, cutting it. No.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay, well.
So now what do I do?
Well, you can be the entertainment. So, what do you mean by that? I'm sure people
What
think
part
that
of stop spending money that you don't have do you not understand?
there must be a catch. Hello from Vermont. It's cold here and snowed yesterday.
Yeah, it snowed here too.
Oh, Esther
Okay.
just put the honey chicken in the oven.
Yay! Yum!
Hello.
All right, guys. So, here's the thing.
So that's the deal. And any questions?
That's it. So first of all, before we go any further, Mike, tell them what you found in the garage 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Does anyone want to send Mike classes in basic arithmetic?
Yeah.
So I was packing away for the Mother's Day sale, unloading boxes of 20th anniversary books, and I got to a new pallet, and I opened it up, and I said, these aren't 20th anniversary books. These are classic books. And I was too embarrassed to announce it. But Tara's making me announce it now.
Well, we got 400 books to get rid of.
So we have 40 cases, which is 480 books. We thought we ran out when we had our big, 50% off, cleared and out sale.
We actually did, guys. It was not clickbait. We were not trying to just scam you. He truly did not count right.
You failed on
I was so excited because I thought, okay, now we're just down to the one thing. It'll be much easier. Because it's hard explaining to people, well, the classic has, or the 20th anniversary has 28 more recipes and 100 more pages. And
so if you guys want 50% off our cookbook, grab our classic edition. We have 480 left. When they're gone, they're gone. It'll probably take us a couple of weeks to get out of them, but
unless we find another mistake.
50% off if you want our classic edition. Okay, so let's talk about an easy way to get out of debt. So people, first of all, let me just say, go back to my email here. Let me read the email from the gal on, it's probably in my Tara to review now. Is it? Scroll down. Let's see. Okay, here.
I'll just smile.
Oops.
I'll be the eye candy.
Oh, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, just no.
Okay,
A lot
so
of fun overseas.
I have to say, I feel validated as a person, finally.
You feel validated
I
as a
feel
person?
validated as a person, finally.
Ooh.
So, the gal from North Platte, Nebraska, would you stop? You're feeling your Cheerios today, aren't ya? The gal from North Platte, Nebraska, that I did her groceries and stuff and budget on Monday. This is the email I received from her. Oh boy, I tell you, the light bulb has shined bright. In fact, I think I'm blinded. I need to toughen my butt up and quit finding an easy way out. If I ever buy another granola bar again, it will be too soon! Exclamation point. Thank you so much for a thorough job. I'm going to be making big changes immediately while the info is still fresh in my head. If you don't mind, I would like to write you in a month or two to update you, and thank you for not being too tough, except for the hamburger patties, LOL. By the way, I have one dog and one cat. Okay, so first of all, so sorry about the dog and cat. I think I got you mixed up with another viewer who had like 4 cats and 3 dogs or something, so sorry about that. I think...
Everybody's saying your hair looks pretty, you look beautiful today.
Thank you.
Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh, I usually do.
Go ahead.
You look beautiful today.
Keep going.
You look amazing.
Thank you. I'll take more.
You look wonderful.
Oh, keep
You're
going.
radiant.
Oh.
I see all kinds of light coming off of you.
Keep going. I'm not done.
I'm getting warm here. Let me scoot over.
And so I think she just truly did not see what she was purchasing. So today we're going to talk about really the only one thing. You only need one thing to get out of debt. And that is to stop spending money you don't have. If you, oh man, sorry, allergies are getting to me. If you don't have cash to pay for it, you can't afford it. That includes cars, that includes college,
Vacation.
that includes vacations, that includes new purses, and yes.
No, I'm just...
Oh. And the thing is, people just don't want to stop spending and buying stuff. Period. And you can sit there, and I know I'm going to get comments because, oh, we didn't tell them the news. We're officially going to Ireland and the UK this summer.
And Norway.
And Norway.
Oh, we're not supposed to say Norway?
No,
Is that
yeah.
a surprise?
No, it's
Does
not.
Torrid not know?
No, she knows.
We're going to be staying 3 miles from Torrid.
Yeah, our wonderful viewer. And so we got our tickets booked last night. And I know somebody's going to say, what? You're talking about getting out of debt and you're going 7 weeks to the UK and Ireland? Yes, because we are paying cash for it. And we have 0 debt.
Yay!
Here's the thing.
We're not being
It was a little hard to click the commit button.
It was hard to commit. It was. But here's the thing, guys. I don't give a squat what you spend your money on. If you're completely out of debt and you have your retirement going and your house is paid off, all your student loans are paid off, you buy whatever you want. I don't care. But if you're coming to me, asking me how to cut your grocery bill, asking me how to cut your car payments, asking me how to pay your college loans, asking me how you are going to afford your kids' school activities, then I'm going to tell you, you cannot afford it. Okay? And,
Yes?
what are they feeling sorry for you?
Huh?
Oh, brother. And I know you're going to give me excuse. I can't move because my ex, in the divorce decree, I have to be next to my ex for the kids. Well, guys, that's a choice you make. And that's just something that you're going to have to deal with until the kids are grown. Why are we making it 20 degrees in here?
Well, because this is burning up and the computer's burning up.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, I'll close that. That's fine. I just need the computer
And-
area to be full.
Oh, boy. Where was I?
Oh, Tina, we actually are not going to be gone entirely. I mean, we'll be gone, but we'll still be putting some stuff on the channel.
We're gonna still be doing videos while we're over there. We're not going all the way over there and not doing any videos. I'm sorry, it just ain't gonna happen. So that's partly why. Okay, Jack, can you close that door? It's cold.
What's wrong?
David, it snowed this morning.
It's burning hot.
David, be quiet and sit down. Do we need to start over?
So here's the thing, guys. Sometimes you're just going to have to put up with things, like if you have a divorce decree where you have to stay in the same city as your spouse, ex-spouse, whatever. But the majority of you are just out there spending money right and left. You're buying houses you can't afford. You're buying cars that you can't afford. If you can't pay cash for it, you can't afford it. Period. End of message. Now, one of the big things is that people are shopping, and I'm not sure why they're doing this, but I guess it's just to medicate their emotions. But let me show a picture here. Okay, so we see all these organizing things and everything, and you'll see 100 ways to organize your nail polish. Now, guys, I want you to see a visual of this.
Can you see that, Dave, on there?
Yeah. Whoa, wait.
Can you see that on the camera?
What are those?
It's nail polish.
Oh my goodness.
It's just a fraction of what's there.
Okay, now, with all due respect to my wonderful sister-in-law who has a collection like this, I love you, Shayla.
What are you thinking? Get it together.
You guys, you don't need 200 bottles of polish. It absolutely drives Mom and I crazy when we see these organizing shows or organizing Pinterest articles. 15 ways to organize your Hot Wheels. Guys, your kid does not need 150 Hot Wheels. And here they declutter and get it down to 75. Are you kidding me? Okay, maybe 5 or 10, and 10 is really pushing it. But
just hoarding.
Guys, there is no reason you need 150 Hot Wheels. There's no reason why you need 200 bottles of polish. Now show them the next picture.
Wait, there's another one?
Yeah. So then you go to organizing the closet. How to organize your closet in 10 easy steps. Okay, look at this, guys.
What is wrong with this picture?
Whoa.
I'll give you a hint, Imelda Marcos.
Why are there 300 boots?
Oh, I lost the Y finally.
What?
I lost the Y finally on my gnome. Fell off.
Oh, it's protected.
Yeah. Okay, guys, there are here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Just on the top shelf, there's 33 t-shirts. That means this woman has around 70 t-shirts just folded. Why in the world do you need 70 t-shirts? Go back to that picture for just a minute. She has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14,
Those
16.
are t-shirts?
Yes.
I thought those were towels.
16 yellow t-shirts. And it looks like she's got about 20 pink and purple t-shirts. Looks mostly pink.
Wait, that's not a stock photo? Or is that a stock photo?
I don't know whose photo it is.
Oh.
So, are you getting questions?
Why?
So that we can, so I can have the questions here.
Here's a question. How can anyone use that much polish in their lifetime?
Exactly. Who is going to wear 70 shirts?
Denise thought those were towels.
They're t-shirts. Who is going to wear 70 shirts? Do you realize that is a shirt every 3 days? No, wait a minute. You'd have to wear, how am I saying this? A different shirt every 3 months. So you would have to wear a totally different shirt every 3 months. Who Who does
Denise thought
that?
those were towels, and so did I, Denise.
Yeah, they're not towels, they're t-shirts. Now, I know people who literally have 100 to 150 t-shirts. I helped one person kind of clean up and organize their house one time. The woman had 150 bras. She must have had more than 200 pairs of underwear.
Because you know, if it don't feel right for a day, you can just try on a different pair. I don't know how to rationalize.
There is no See, Dave's trying to rationalize it. You can't rationalize it.
It doesn't make
It's
sense.
absolutely ridiculous. And so I think until you can get it in your thick skull, people, that I just don't need to buy this, you're not going to get out of debt. Until you can get that through your head, you are not going to get out of debt, period. And, you know, these same people that I've helped organize and stuff like that, they've got student loans, they've got car loans, they've got credit card debt, they've got medical bills that they can't pay. Everybody blames the medical bills. Guys, it's not the medical bills. 9 times out of 10. Not all the time. I totally understand that. But
I mean, if
you can't pay your copay at the doctor, it's not the medical bills. There's something else going on. Yeah.
Okay.
2 boobs don't need all those bras. I know. I really wanted to take pictures, but it was a family member, and it was at a time that was at an emotional time in the family, and I was just like.
So Carrie says commercials, marketing, consumerism, modern slavery. You're right, but it's unfortunate that people don't realize they don't look at it and say, this isn't something I should be paying attention to, and they just go with it. Because I go pick up Jack every day after school. Not every day. Quite a few days. And I get out of the car and go stand there at the front door before he comes out. And I listen to the moms at the school talking, and they say things like, well, you know, it's just hard because you got to go to college and, you know, you get all that debt and then for your degree, and then you get out of school and you got to get a new car, and then you got to do this. And I was thinking, you don't have to do any of that. So I asked him, well, what do you mean you have to get a new car? Well, you can't be driving that old piece of junk that you drove in college. I was thinking,
We are.
why not? Like, I would drive a car as long as it's working.
The car we're driving right now is worth about $500.
But the thing is, this is kind of what you were saying about consumerism and marketing. They drive pretty nice older cars in pretty good shape, but in their minds, that's an old piece of junk, clunker car. And it's because people just get that idea in mind.
Stop blaming marketing and consumerism. You have a choice if you're going to buy it or not.
That's what I was going to say is, yes, the marketing and stuff it goes against you. And like when people watch the news all the time, you're just asking for trouble because you're asking to be told lies. And the thing is that you have to have some discernment and say, okay, realistically, what do I need? Like on the money thing here, I was thinking that most people, because people ask us about what our budget is and what do we do this, what we do is anytime money is going to pass through our hands, we say, oh, do I need this? Mm-hmm. And I think most people don't.
Mm-hmm. No, they don't.
And there's also, there's kind of an excuse about things that people want to have, like, oh, you know, it's my laundry detergent. In reality, there's something else they don't want to give up that's the obvious big problem. Mm-hmm. And it seems like there was something I was thinking about that. I'll come up with it in a minute. Go ahead.
I do want to say, this is mainly for people who are in debt, right?
Yes, that's what I was said at the beginning.
If you can pay with cash, so it's fine.
This is for people who are these are for people who are in debt. If you are completely debt free, once again, I don't give a squat what you spend your money on. People think I'm like, oh, she's just being all judgy. Oh, she's just being all judgy. No, you guys come to me begging me to dig you out of your finances, telling me that you are getting ready to claim bankruptcy because you're not being responsible with your money. And no, I would say 99% of the time, you should not declare bankruptcy. It is stealing, flat out stealing. There are a few cases of maybe medical things. I could see that. But I don't care if you're out of work. I don't care if you don't have enough work. I'm sorry. That is your debt. It's your responsibility. Stop spending money on stuff you don't have. Learn how to cook and cut your grocery bill. Cut the Netflix, cut the Hulu, sell the car with the car payment, sell the house you can't afford, rent a cheaper house unless your house payment is the same as rent, which that is possible, that's fine. But sell your house. A lot of people, like especially here in Colorado, a lot of these people that are our neighbors, they could sell their house and be debt-free if they wanted to, but they don't want to.
Well, that's the thing. We hear a lot of people say, I really want to be out of debt, but don't really give any consideration to what that really means. Like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and she was telling me, I did so good today. I went to the store, and I didn't spend too much, and so I decided to reward myself with a mocha latte something or other at Starbucks on the way out. Well, I know this lady. She does that every day. Mm-hmm. And thinking, okay, when you're an adult, you don't need to reward yourself for doing adult things. Mm-hmm. That's something you should do it and be proud of yourself for that.
Yeah.
But then go on. And some people may be saying, well, these aren't tips. But the thing is, people make it too complicated. Really, spend less than you make. There was a Saturday Night Live thing that Steve Martin did where, or some guy in Steve Martin. And there was a little book. This is about how to get out of debt or something. And it said, all the book said, and it was, spend less than you make. And he's like, oh, so then I can refinance my debt? And he's like, well, let's look at the book. Spend less than you make. And I was thinking that it's just, we overcomplicate things by assuming that we need things that we don't need.
So, Jeannie wants to know, where would you live if you sell your house? Rent an apartment and start over again.
So Tar doesn't mean sell your house and live in a box. She means most people have more house than they need. And if you're in a desperate financial situation, it might be that you have a house, you need a house that's smaller than you really want. But the thing is, there have been a number of people that have heard us lately talk about moving, and they sold a house and moved, and they're saving $500 or $600 a month now. And the thing is that you can oftentimes find a less expensive house. A lot of people will come up with reasons why they can't. Oh, it's 2 miles further away from the school, or what am I going to do about that, or it's a bad neighborhood or something. And if you live in the inner city of a major city and there's a massive amount of crime there, that's one thing. But people think the neighborhoods are just bad. I think largely as an excuse to not want to live in a place that's not as nice as what they want. But that's the thing is that you're choosing then wants.
Yeah. Over
needs. Mm-hmm. And if you're trying to get out of debt, like for us, we have no debt. We can pay cash to go overseas. We're not going to do
7 weeks.
We're not going to do it all the time. But I was telling Tara yesterday, drives me crazy because I know a number of people who have vehicles in the $60,000 to $80,000 range, which apparently are not luxury vehicles these days. And in addition to the $60,000 to $80,000, they're also paying interest on it all these years. And I was thinking, wow, we're going to go overseas for 7 weeks on this vacation. We don't do that very often, but we could do that every year for the cost of just one of those cars. And the thing is, our cars work great, and they cost $5,000
or less.
So I think people just, because this is the thing that you do, you just go to a car dealership and you put up with the person putting the squeeze on you, and you sign it even though it's more than you wanted to pay. That's just what you do. Or like, I think the same, this isn't really well, it is kind of a money saving thing, but when we tried to go on a vacation last fall, and when Ellie and I were in Europe a couple years ago, sometimes you go to a place and the line has these huge numbers of people and it costs a fortune, and everybody's just saying, well, that's what it is on vacation. You just dump your wallet on the table. No, choose.
Holy cow, we saved Rebecca $20,000
Thank
Woo!
you.
She said, I was going to give my daughter my car and I was going to buy a newer car. Instead, we found a 2000 Honda Accord with 147 miles for $3,000. It is in fantastic condition and our mechanic said it is the nicest used car that he's seen in a long time.
Rebecca,
No
you are
major-
totally in the mode we're in on the cars. We do the same thing that's the price range we pay, and we get really nice cars by shopping around just a little bit.
Oh, that is so great. Okay, so see, but here we go. Rebecca just proved our point, and Carrie is making excuses. It's hard to buy a cheap car like that. Repairs are just as much as buying a new car, which needs the same maintenance. Hold on, I'm having a moment. Carrie, you are lying. That is wrong. I'm sorry.
Or deceiving yourself.
You can find cars all the time. So,
Excuses.
it is just an excuse. We have bought 3 to 5 to 7, depending on how big the car is. Van, we paid $7,000 for one time, but most of our cars are $3,000 to $5,000. We have only bought new cars for the last used cars for the last 25 years. Never ever bought a new car. The repairs on a used car has never even come close to the cost of a new car. Not even close. Our Ford Taurus that was a lemon that Mike's parents got us that I didn't really want, but they got it for us when we crashed another car. They were trying to do a nice thing. The transmission went out, the engine went out, and one other major thing went out too. All within the first 3 to 4 months that we had the car. We dumped $8,000 into that car. It still did not even come close, even with everything going wrong with it.
But we don't recommend that kind of car. She's just saying the absolute worst we ever had.
That was a
less
lemon
expensive.
and a half. It was still cheaper than buying a new car. So no, don't use that excuse that you cannot buy a used car. That's just not
there's
true.
a couple of things about that. First of all, like our cars are in the early 2000s. They're grandma cars. We had to take a little bit of extra time to find them, to find the nice ones. But the repairs are not very significant, and there aren't a lot of them. And partly, we chose the models of cars we chose for that reason. But so the cost of the repairs is nowhere near the cost of the repair or of buying a new car. But the other thing is, people assume I'm going to go buy a new car, and then it's going to work great for 8 years, and there's going to be no problems. Well, sorry, brother-in-law, dear, but my brother-in-law, Tara's brother, and his wife, using that theory, they bought a car quite a few years ago with payments and everything, and and early on it needed some maintenance of some kind. I forgot what it was. It wasn't one of the things that was covered on the regular warranty, and so they had to pay it out of pocket. But it costs like 6 times as much to repair that same item on that car as on our car because it was a newer car. So the newer car is not only a lot more expensive, but it's a lot more expensive to repair and maintain. And some of the stuff you have to go pay for it at the dealership, which is really paying the high Cadillac price.
Back to Carrie here on the cars thing. First of all, how often do we buy a new used car? Wait, I want that comment right there. We buy one whenever it dies or someone crashes into us and we can't drive it anymore. We live in Colorado. Car accidents are frequent here. So, But here's the thing. Carrie, add it up. She says, I paid $2,700 and dumped $5,200 in 3 years in just repairs on top of towing and rental expense. Carrie, do the math. $5,200 plus $2,700 is what? That would be...
Well, $7,900, that's a lot.
But still.
No, well...
But still, hold on. $8,000 for driving a car 3 years, and I'm assuming she's still driving it. $8,000 for driving a car 3 years. That's about $2,500 a year. Or what does that break down into a month? About $200 a month. Most brand new car payments are $500 minimum. So you're still, even though that's not great, you're still way ahead of buying a new car.
But there's another thing about that, and we have a story on our website, Living on a Dime, about this. When you said you paid $2,700 for the car and put $5,200 in it, we would not have done that. So we used to get whatever car we got, and then we had some experiences where it was still a lot cheaper than buying a new car, but we realized, wow, we really don't want to have this turmoil going on with this kind of repair situation. So we got to be a little bit more ruthless about shopping for the cars. And if you don't know a lot about, working on cars or engines, which a lot of people don't, it's good to bring somebody with you who has some knowledge of that, because most of the time, if you notice like there's a leak on the ground, or you roll up and down all the windows, you turn on everything, and if just a couple of things are kind of misbehaving, that car is going to be a lemon, and you don't want to buy that one. But we have had times where we got one that seemed like it was perfectly fine for a cheaper price, and then a large repair came along that it was going to need, and we said, you know what, we're going to sell it and get something else. And we tell the people, honestly, this is a problem with it, and they buy it, and then we go get something else. So generally, because we spend about $3,000 to $5,000 on a car, we probably put a few $100s a year maintenance into them, and they run for a long, long time, the ones we get. But you have to be careful. Like I said, we shop a little extra around for a car, and we listen for the story that reveals to us that grandma drove that car to the store.
Yeah, and check the mileage to make sure.
And we check the mileage, but we look for things like if there are any oil leaks, any kind of leaks like that. If we feel just a little bit bad about it when we're looking at it, we don't buy it. But it usually takes us, 8 or 10 cars to find one?
Oh, yeah, we probably go and look at between 6 to 10. Yeah.
But if we save
$20,000
to $50,000 by having to spend that time, because a lot of people we know that buy cars with payments they're like, I don't really want to have to do all that looking around. But I'm thinking, okay, so if you have to look at 10 things and you save $20,000, is it worth $2,000 an hour?
Yeah.
Not to mention that the maintenance on the newer car is going to get you eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and what Tara mentioned also is the interest. People, when they think about how much they spend for a new car, they don't think about what the interest is in the long term. And just like on a house, a $200,000 house is really a $400,000 or $600,000 house.
Yeah.
Also, wait, what was I going to say?
If you make payments.
$20,000, that's enough to go on our trip, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yep. And, like we said the other day, we sat and figured people spend about 10 years of their lives working just to pay for their new cars. Just think about that. You could take off 10 years early. You could retire 10 years early if you weren't buying new cars.
Heather bought an 85 Corvette with 55,000 miles from an old man's garage, 5,000, and hubby was happy.
Wow.
One thing is that if, with us, we get a lot of times where people will, they'll particularly choose us for their super fancy car, and because they feel like you seem like,
They'll choose us.
Well, we had a couple people that were, it was kind of like, you're going to take care of this car. So
okay, yeah.
They're taking care of reasonable.
I'm thinking like the old guy with his car.
The next thing is stop eating out. Guys, if you are eating out, putting it on your credit card that you don't pay off every month, you are eating your way into debt, literally. Get the best cookbook in the whole wide world, Dining on a Dime cookbook. Hundreds of thousands of copies people have bought, so somebody is being helped by this. Get a good basic cookbook and learn how to cook. You can learn how to make granola bars. You can learn how to make rice. You can learn how to make easy 3-ingredient, 4-ingredient chicken recipes. You can learn how to make taco seasoning. You can learn how to make tortillas. Anything you want to make, it's in here. Chocolate cake, yellow cake, white cake, all those things. Stop eating your way into debt by going out to eat all the time and putting it on your credit card. That's the next one. All right. Yes?
Get out of debt. Buy our book, somebody says. And I'm thinking...
Okay.
I think it's funny. People are like, I'm spending $10,000, $20,000 a year more than I need. But, oh, no. I went
$24 for a cookbook. Okay, first of all, we have the cookbook half price right now if you want the classic edition. But here's the thing. people go out and they will spend this amount for one cookbook on just one lunch for their family. Just one lunch at McDonald's for their family will pay for this. And yet they're doing this 5, 6, 8, 10 times a week between lunch and dinner and breakfast. And then they say, well, I don't know how to cook, so I have to go learn how to cook. We have thousands of free videos, thousands of free recipes. Go look it up. My word, how lazy can you be? If I didn't have the money for this, I would just go look it up on the internet. What?
I'm clearing space. I'm waiting for it.
Get it together, people! There, is that better?
Yes.
No, seriously. It is so incredibly frustrating that people are just flat out lazy. This is not going to be something that's convenient. Getting out of debt is not something that's convenient. Getting out of debt is not something that's always easy. This is an easy solution if you would just stop buying things that you can't pay cash for. That's really easy. But nobody does that. They don't want to come home and make the oatmeal for breakfast. They don't want to come home and make the muffins for breakfast. They don't want to have the risk of driving a used car.
Well, there was
Really?
one lady told us she had an extra car just in case her car breaks down. And I was thinking,
She probably had it insured when she wasn't driving it.
Oh, and that's another thing on the new cars versus the older cars. They're a lot more expensive for the insurance because the replacement cost is so small on an older car.
Yeah.
And the registration and all that. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know. So anyway, pretty much what it amounts to, guys, is you just need to stop spending money you don't have. Give me questions if you have them in the comments. This is one of those, this is not rocket science, people.
so Gypsy Angel has the question that a lot of people ask, how do you get your spouse on board?
Well, first of all, you have to do it. And secondly, what I would do is sit down on paper like I did on Monday's show. And I showed how our viewer is working a full month at her part-time job to pay for cuts, like in her grocery bill, Netflix, Hulu, Weight Watchers, those kinds of things. She had over $500, and that was her full part-time job. I mean, that was the full paycheck of her part-time job. So she was working and working and working. I would sit down and say, okay, if we buy this new truck, what did your friend say it was? $100,000 for a new truck?
He said it was 80, but
$80,000 for a new truck.
Some people get a couple of extra add-ons, and then it's 100. It's like for a pickup.
Okay,
Oh
we know people all the time who are buying new trucks for $100,000,
$80,000. I
$80,000.
didn't realize they were that expensive, but wow.
If they earn $50,000 a year, that means they have to work 2 years because it's after tax. It's after taxes. That's not take-home pay. I mean, that's your take-home pay. That's not before, your gross. So they have to work almost 2 full years to pay for that pickup. They could take off 2 years of work, completely take off 2 years of work if they didn't pay for that pickup and got something a lot cheaper, like $5,000.
So C said, I just paid off $780 credit card.
Good for
Woo-hoo.
you!
Woo-hoo.
Woo! The other thing is like pizzas. Like when Mike was making $6 an hour, I was tired. I had 2 little kids. I would never dream of him having to work 3 to 4 hours to pay for one delivery pizza. Yet people do it all the time. Take out Chinese food, delivered Chinese food. People do it all the time. Calculate how many hours you actually have to work to pay for this stuff.
Well, didn't you say recently you realized that some people think that credit card charge is actually income?
Yeah. Mom told me that she saw this video, which I haven't watched yet, but apparently now the millennials and that generation see credit cards as their income. That's how they're paying for everything. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Are you about Gen Z and millennials? Or just millennials?
I don't know.
A
lot of people. They think credit cards are their income, and it's not.
Just
Actually, it's funny because I hear people a lot of times say, well, how can I pay off my cards when, I need it now or then? And I'm thinking, no, you should never need it. And if you need to use a credit card and carry a balance, it means you're spending too much. And honestly, again, I go back to this, but there was a 2-week period where I didn't have a place to live. When I was single, I lived in my car in the mountains with no money. And I was not the smartest person before that, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I didn't have anywhere to go, and I didn't leave myself in a good situation with money. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I just realized, wow, I have to hurry up and quickly get to figure out what is important with this money. Because at the time, I had no prospect for a good paying job, so I just needed to know what's the minimum I can spend, and that's the job. I have to have a job that pays at least that. Yeah. And people don't ask themselves that question. Like, how much do I really need to spend? Yeah. And again, I've talked to people and they say, well, I only, it's okay every once in a while to get myself a coffee for $8. And I think, well, it's okay to do that in a very, very rare situation. I mean, if you're not massively in debt. But if you do it every day, it's because most people that say that, it's like every day, well, I'm overwhelmed with anxiety, or the
anxiety people have over finances that they control.
I'm overwhelmed with anxiety, or I need some self-care today, or I accomplished something for today, and it's the first day in a month where I've accomplished something, so I'm going to reward myself. Mm-hmm. All those kinds of thought processes are going to bury you financially.
Rewarding yourself is one of the biggest things that I think that people have now, is that I deserve it. You don't deserve squat. I'm sorry, you don't. I don't care if you've worked hard all day long. Everybody works hard. It's called life. You don't deserve a Starbucks. You don't deserve the new pickup. You don't deserve anything. Now, do I think that life is all about just paying the bills and dying? No, I don't. But make wise choices with your money. Don't spend money you don't have, so that you can easily get out of debt and be debt-free. And then you can go spend it and do stuff like we're getting ready to do with our trip to the UK and Ireland, which we're paying cash for.
So Alice is asking, where are we financially? So we have no debt, and we have a house that's paid off, and our business has a fairly substantial value. And we just paid off our house, so there's probably going to be sudden influx of cash that we were spending to pay off the house. And we're able to do, we're not going to do this all the time, even though in some ways it might be nice. But we're taking kind of a big vacation this summer, which is really the first really big vacation we've ever had. Mm-hmm. And so we're pretty comfortable.
Yeah. And we could sell our house and our business and move to a cheaper state than Colorado. And we could actually retire.
We're not planning to do that, but we could. And the thing is that it's possible because, there was a time when we were first married. I got a college degree. I didn't realize they weren't going to teach me how to get a job with that degree. And I didn't even realize I needed to know that until I actually graduated. And so I piddled around for 4 or 5 years trying to figure out what to do. And when we got married, we had no real income, well, not a whole lot of income. And I was doing a lot of different kinds of jobs trying to get some traction in that world. And at the time, I had some debt already. And we were trying to pay that. And so it was hard at first, not going to lie. But the thing is, after we started to get some traction and we really were buckling down on our spending and not spending anything. And once we did, then we were able to come up with money to pay off our debt. And as time's gone by, for a while we were kind of right on the fence there. And then we had some jobs that weren't going so well. But nevertheless, we kept plodding along. and paying off and improving life. And it got to a point where, okay, now we don't have to make the decision, oh, like, do I have to fix the car now? Can I make it go longer? As we could say, hey, we've got some money there, let's go ahead and fix it. And it just got better and better that way because we sacrificed the things that weren't really important that we just wanted, but we didn't really need. And we didn't sacrifice it all either. It's like we
really weren't that tight. I mean, I could have cut our grocery bill another $150 a month. We could have cut our electric bill probably another $100 a month.
We would still occasionally go out to eat to celebrate a special occasion or something like that. It just wasn't an all the time thing. Mm-hmm. But because we didn't spend that money that most people spend every month, we got to the point where we were able to pay all those things off, and now it's much easier for us to make those decisions. In fact, it was a little bit difficult to get our brains around committing to go on this vacation because
it was really hard.
Like, do we spend the money to do that?
Because they're in the habit.
But yeah, that's why we do this. We do this not to like be cheap. We do this so that we can say, what's really valuable to us? Is it valuable to me to drive around a car that's just slightly better looking than somebody else's car so I can say, look at the car I've got? Or is it more important to me to, go see things in the world that I want to see or do some amazing thing that is of value to me in some other way? By the way, there was something else I realized. Recently, I was talking to some people, and I realized they don't think financially beyond this month. So if there's extra money left, how can where does it need to go? Well, if there's extra money left, you should keep it. Yeah. Because most of the young people now aren't old enough to remember our Depression grandparents who used to say, save for a rainy day. Mm. But really, that's kind of the way it should be. If you set aside things when things are very prosperous, then when things aren't so good, you don't have to declare bankruptcy or walk away from your house or get a divorce from your spouse because you're fighting about money all the time. Yep. With us, again, we started, things weren't really great, and we really had to buckle down, and things were tough, and we had to suck it up anyway. But then when things got better, we tried to kind of build in that rainy day thing. And over the years, it's just kind of snowballed. But if you're in the mindset that, wow, we make $6,000 a month, therefore we have to spend $6,000 a month, you're never going to get anywhere that way.
That's one thing we don't like with budgeting and envelope systems. And we have a video that says stop budgeting now, go watch it. But that's one reason why we don't like those. Because just because you have it in the budget or have it in the envelope doesn't mean you need to spend it. If you have, like this other viewer had Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and like 5 other different things, you don't need it. Why is it even in the budget at all? Cut it, Well, there was a point 15 years ago where we were starting to get unhappy with some of the stuff that was coming on cable on the weekends when the kids were watching TV. And there was a point where we thought, wait, we don't really like the cable. Why are we paying for this? Yeah. Okay, read Debbie's thing.
I had to stop working to take care of my 85-year-old mom. My husband said, how are we paying for everything and saving? And I said, living on a dime, following what they teach. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. And congratulations.
Good for you. Good for you. And here's the thing. Somebody asked when we bought our first house. Our first house was when we were in our early 20s.
Sorry. Yeah, in our early 20s. C said, wait till I tell Hubby he can retire 10 years sooner if he quits buying new trucks.
Yeah.
The thing I wonder about the new trucks
Seriously.
is, only since we've moved to Colorado in the last few years, have I seen so many people that always have to have new trucks. I thought it was a badge of honor to have a truck that's kind of beat up and looks like you're manly using it out in the field somewhere. And so I'm kind of shocked that people want new trucks all the time. But yeah, that's kind of part of the thinking that we had on things like the vehicles. When I worked at a grocery store and I made $6 an hour, and I worked with other people who made $6 an hour at the same grocery store, and they would go buy a $20-something thousand car with a loan, and it might have a $500 a month payment. And I was thinking, okay, you're making $6 an hour. how are you paying your bills, like your regular bills? And I think people get upside down on those kinds of thinking. For me, at the time, when I was talking to one of my friends at the grocery store back in those days, and I said, well, it's a car. I'm not going to live in it. I just need it to get me places safely, reasonably comfortably, which is optional, but I prefer reasonably comfortably. And, with the radio.
To read Stephanie's comment. I love your daughter, Stephanie.
Stephanie... My daughter loves them in the book. Oh, and the book as well. Cracks me up when the 11-year-old comes out with "Get It Together, people."
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Okay, so basically, the one easy tip for those of you who've hung on is stop spending money that you don't have to buy things. Period. If you cannot pay cash for it, you cannot afford it. Period.
But reevaluate.
End of statement.
No more talking.
Well, and essentially, we're encouraging you, if you're having struggles, to reevaluate every time you spend any money. Do I need to spend this? Because literally, Dave and I, we go take our work in school to the library. There's a little bit of time between dropping off Jack and when the library opens, so we don't have a place to go. So we go sit in the parking lot of the grocery store and do some work there. And while we do, there's a Starbucks in there. Every day I see the same people coming out of Starbucks with the drink. And no offense if you're with Starbucks, I'm glad you guys are able to make a lot of money with a lot of people. But I would say for people that go every single day or make a big habit of it, those things really add up. And they're taking away from your future. That's the thing that we were noticing is if you can reevaluate now, every time you spend money on something, do I really need this?
Yep.
Then it'll make your future way, way better and take away your stress because like C was saying, she's going to tell her husband, you can quit your job 10 years early. I was just thinking, I have to work so hard for all this because we're constantly right on the edge of our money. And now we don't.
Jana, the more I save on spending, the more I'm getting obsessed. Have y'all found that? Yes. And it can get to the point where when you do have the money, you don't spend it, which I don't think is good either. Pamela, my husband and I are 59. My husband is taking overtime, etc., and using it for flying lessons. This is his plan for retirement, a job as a pilot. He's always dreamed of
being a
pilot. I think we'd be better off investing that same amount. What are your thoughts?
So I think it's fine if he wants to do it as a hobby, but you guys should probably be saving for your retirement in another way.
At 59,
he's
you better
not going
have
to get
your
a job as a pilot.
Yeah, you better have your retirement all situated because at 59 years old, he's not going to get a job for doing that at that age.
So there are a lot of people that like flying, and that's fine, but you need to get your money in order.
Your retirement needs to be set up first. Okay, so let's talk about our trip just a little bit. All right. Oh, the mani-pedi thing, Marie. Don't even get me started. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's like crazy. Okay, so our trip.
Well, actually, sorry. A lot of people, especially younger people, have not been taught how to do things. And so the amount of money that they end up spending to have other people do things because they don't know how to do it is ridiculously high. And if you're one of those people, learn how to do things. Just today, I had to change a taillight on the car. And it's a light bulb. Costs $7 for the light bulb. Takes 3 minutes to change it. If you go to like a quickie mechanic place and have them change, it's going to cost you $50. So learn to do a lot of those little simple things yourself.
Yeah, watch YouTube, guys. This is simple.
You will save a ton of money, and the effort in learning it and doing it. I mean, like, really, I saved $40 not paying somebody else to do it, and it took me 3 minutes. So what's that? Like, how much an hour?
Judy, or no, it was not Judy. Who was it? Somebody said, I think I'm the only person in the world who doesn't want or have a cell phone. If it wasn't for my family, I would not have one. I hate cell phones. I think they're from Satan, and I hate cell phones. And also, back to the pilot guy, if your house is not paid off and your retirement, and you're not completely debt-free, none of that money should be going to pilot lessons. It should just be going to that. How much money do you guys think to retire? They say you need about $1 million right now to retire at 65 is what I heard the other day. So
It's very.
it depends on the type.
It depends on where you want to live, what you want to do with
it just
yourself.
depends.
So, but that would probably be a low end, right?
Yep. Okay, so our trip. We are leaving the end of June, and we're going to come back the middle of August.
What?
We're going to Ireland, Scotland, England, and Norway to see our great friend Dorit. I asked her if she's an axe murderer before I booked the room just to make sure. She said she wasn't.
She put the smiley faces with the little tears coming out of them.
That's not an axe murderer.
Yeah, that's the clear sign that she's
That's the
okay.
sign, isn't it?
That and the fact that we've known her ever since we started the show, right?
What
Wasn't Turid one of the first
She
people?
was, yeah. And so, yes, we are going to have to rent several cars. We are going to have to take a couple of plane trips to go from the UK to Norway. We're going to have to take the sail. We're going to take a ferry and the train. So we're going to
Ellie
take the
and I
sail rail.
Loved sail rail, so we told Tara.
We booked houses all along the way, and one of our viewers, which I haven't emailed her yet and tell her we're staying for sure. I need to do that. One of our viewers offered her house for us to stay at.
That was so nice.
I know. I was just like, that is so sweet. So we're going to stay at her house for a week if she still has it available. And we are going to try and cook while we're there. I am going to do several videos on grocery shopping and prices over there and see how much it's going to cost to feed us over there, which should be interesting. I may have to eat my words. We'll see. I don't know.
But you guys have extra cash, right?
And it will be a little bit harder because I can't stock up on stuff. So I'll just have to buy food like for each few days or week, which will be a little bit harder, I think, for me for grocery shopping because I don't shop because I don't. That's not the way I do groceries, which I'm doing a whole nother video with my assistant Heidi on that. But anyway, so we are going to cook and grocery shop. Everybody is going except our oldest son and our sister-in-law, Shayla.
Is coming with us.
Gets
yes.
to come with us for the first 2 weeks to London and York. And so we are super excited. We have almost everything booked. Not quite. We spent 6 hours.
Jenna, it's not just
night.
us. It's us and 3 kids and
Our
sister-in-law.
Yeah.
But we did arrange places that are large enough that we are not going to be right on each other all the
No.
time. And
3,
we also
4 bedrooms. Yeah.
arranged places where we can stay longer periods of time so we're not rushing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And Shayla, did you get your passport today, Shayla? Did you get it? She's on there. She's on there. She's on there. We're super, super excited.
We're stoked.
And quite frankly, Monday night, Mike was like, oh, maybe we should just forget it and not go. And I was like, fine. And we both shut our computers and that was it.
Well,
and we weren't going to go.
We had 2 days of catastrophe trying to put it together.
We did. Because we have spent, over the last 4 days, about 15 to 20 hours trying to hash this out and figuring out how to do it on a dime. Which, I mean, it's going to cost us a lot, but still.
Cheryl, are you going to eat out to experience the food of the area? I'm sure we'll probably eat out more there than we eat out at home.
But I'm still going to do grocery shopping and grocery prices because we're going to need snacks and stuff like that. We're not going to eat out every single meal, but I'm not going all the way over there and not getting some fish and chips. Some real English fish and chips.
You know
Seriously?
You're looking forward to haggis, aren't you? Oh, we're going to Scotland some of
Not
that time.
really.
When she says UK, she's including Scotland.
Scotland. And so we are going to eat some of that food. So if you guys have foods you want us to try, send me an email, editor@livingonadime.com, and tell me what foods we should try. I don't know. We're super excited. So I'm starting to walk. I started walking actually before we decided this, but I'm starting to walk every day. So I'm pumping up my walk so I can actually get around London without dying.
So Carol, we're going to England, mostly London. London and York, and we're going to Scotland, and we're going to Ireland, to 2 places where Ellie and I have been before, to Killarney and to the Dingle Peninsula, and then we're also going to Norway.
Cheryl, our friend Crystal, who's letting us use her house, she says she's going to do a real English tea for us.
Woohoo!
Take take us. I don't know if she's going to take us somewhere. I don't know if you go somewhere or what. I don't know how that works. But anyway, yeah. So that would be great. Also, guys, Monday's show was a really big hit. Everybody loved Monday's show. So if you want me to rip you to shreds... No, I'm kidding. If you guys want me to take a look at your grocery shopping, or if you want me to look at your budget, I would love to do. I really liked doing Monday's show, and I think it really resonated with a lot of people to actually see numbers and how people spend. So if you're interested in me taking a look at your budget or me taking a look at your grocery shopping, then go ahead and do that. I had thought about possibly...
I don't know where Warwick Castle is, Jackie.
Possibly doing Skype interviews with people also that we would air. So that's another possibility. Talk through with you some of the things in your budget. Why do you have this? Why do you have that? So
somebody was asking, I forgot who it was. We're going to be 7 weeks gone.
Yeah.
This is a kind of a celebration of paying off our house.
And our 25th
Our
anniversary.
25th anniversary is this year. So. And
we're doing it debt-free.
Yep. No debt on it. And we're even going to go see Phantom of the Opera in London.
The Phantom of the Opera is there.
Which was something that Tara really...
Inside my mind.
Really loved when I first met her.
In sleep he sang
and we saw it
to me.
Right after we got married in Denver.
In dreams he came.
That... Never mind.
You lost it, dear. Okay, so we do need to look up tickets for Phantom because that is one thing. I want to go see a flower garden, like, is it Kingston? No, Kensington? Kensington Gardens. I want to go see some gardens. Where? If I'm going to be there in July, I want to see some gardens.
I told her it's pretty.
Where is...
Also...
yes, Denise, you can carry our luggage.
Where is the Phantom of the Opera?
London.
Somewhere in London.
London, so I can hang out with... You know who?
No, you're going to come see Phantom so you can appreciate the opera.
This
is music appreciation for homeschool. I've seen
the movie like 10 times.
We are
cutting 10 homeschool classes with this trip. We're getting music appreciation. We're getting PE. We're getting geography. We're getting world history. We're getting Renaissance something or another.
Oh man, Renaissance architecture. Yes. I forgot. Yes, Tara does have a sweet voice. Carlotta. Oh, Carlotta is awesome.
What's Carlotta?
The diva.
Huh?
The diva.
Oh, Phantom. Sorry.
If this keeps happening, this is not going to happen. So,
so I do have a question for those of you who've been to England, Scotland, all that in the summer. What kind of clothes do we need to take? Is this shorts weather? I had read somewhere that they don't wear shorts over there in the summer because it's like 60s and 70s. So,
and misty. Be prepared for misty.
Is this where we should take? Because I'm going to take a minimum of clothes. I think I'm going to take, for 7 weeks, I think I'm going to take 2 pants and 3 shirts and 3 underwear and socks for everybody. Can I get by with that? So what I need to know is, do I take like 1 long pants and 1 pair of shorts? Do they wear shorts over there? Is it warm enough for that? I don't know that
Being from
question.
Colorado, we will be able to wear shorts there. Yes, shorts,
but if it's
jeans.
raining.
Well, of course, we went in April. When Ellie and I were in Ireland, it was a little cool, and we wore jeans and light jackets. And I imagine in June, July, and a little bit of August, it'll be a little bit warmer. But
okay.
There was a girl from Scotland that was online talking about what to do to come to Scotland, and she said to be prepared for it to rain every day.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I miss rain. Living in Colorado, I miss rain. Okay, real quick, last question.
Don't forget finance in the class too.
How long did it take us to pay off our house from start to finish? So we bought our very first house when we were 25 and 27 years old. We are 46 and 49 now. And what happened was, our first house we bought it, we had to pay someone an $8,000 check. We actually lost $12,000 total on our first house. Then
Because we bought in an area without really thinking
Yeah.
that if we ever sell this house,
Yeah.
the price is going to go down.
and the prices went down and we couldn't sell it. He lost his job. We had to move. So we had to take a loss on that house. We also took a loss on our last house. We lost $30,000 or $20,000 on our last house. So we're finally getting to the point where we got it. But I will tell you, on this house, we have paid, as soon as our income went up, everything was dumped on the house. Every extra penny was dumped on the house. We did go on a vacation last year, so we did
Which
do
we
that.
shouldn't have done because it
Which
ended up being
was a
disaster.
mistake. It was a disaster. But anyway, besides that $3,000, we dumped everything we could on the house, and we got it paid off in 2 years from when our income went up, okay? But every month, no matter which house we had, we always put at least $10 more on the principal. We did a whole video on that just a couple of videos ago. But I don't care if it's $1. Put it on your principal, right where it says principal.
Additional principal,
right?
put it on there.
$1 and add that in there. But we always paid because that was a huge goal for us, so that now we can go to Ireland. So bring more underwear than you need. Here's what I'm wondering. Could we just wear all our underwear on the plane and just have it layered? That would save, wouldn't it?
Wait, all
They're
our
going to think you're
underwear,
wearing
like,
diapers. Get a lot
That's
of fat
true.
in there,
Then my
babe.
pants may not fit, huh? Well, my underwear aren't that well. Okay, let's
No,
not get into my underwear,
If you
shall we?
wear
That's
6
just a
pairs
little
of them
too
at the
much.
same time, it's going to be poofy. I'm not doing that, folks.
Okay, Cheryl says 5 undies, 1 short, 2 pants, 3 shirts, a sweater, a nice top, sneakers, and good shoes.
Making a note of that right
Wow,
now.
that seems like a lot, but okay. Oh, and Jennifer, I'm going to Facebook message you tonight. We were thinking about having a get-together, not this weekend, but next weekend to see.
Oh, one thing Tara had mentioned about us losing on the house just before this one, but that was a calculated decision we made because the market here was really low at the time, and the market there was about as
Low
good as it was going to get.
yeah.
And so we kind of sacrificed a little on that house to jump to this one, knowing that this one was going to increase a lot in value, and it doubled in value in the first 5 years that we had it.
Yeah.
So it was a good choice, even though we lost on the last one. We
Yeah.
gained greatly on this one, so that it sort of shadowed that.
Yeah, actually, God reward. I was very bitter about losing $20,000 on the last house, and it's kind of interesting because I kept praying for God to help me to get over that, and He has rewarded us by giving us a house now that doubled in value. We got 10 times what our other house did, and so when you have things like that, you just need to pray to ask God to help you to get through it and to just move on, because we did kind of need to move here. But and another thing that I will say today, God was good. I lost my credit card again. My wallets and my credit cards, I just keep losing them. And I was like, Lord, please show me where that credit card is. I dumped my purse. Dave checked the car. I checked the car. I knew I had used it at Walmart, called Walmart. It wasn't at Walmart. I'm like, Lord, where is my credit card? Please. We just had someone steal it a couple of months ago, had to change everything. It was the business card, so it was even worse. The post office calls and says, we have your credit card here. I was like, oh, thank you. Apparently it had fallen out of my wallet and the cleaning lady found it.
Hodgepodge
Thank
Farm.
you, Jesus.
Yes.
Thank
yes,
you, Jesus. So, Mike is going to a movie, so please, what?
Hodgepodge Farm says lutefisk in Norway.
I don't know
no.
what that is. That
It's
doesn't
like,
sound
I
good.
think it's like dead fish heads floating in some
Oh,
sort
no.
of...
I can't do
And then
fish
there's-
heads.
And then there's, I'm thinking, I might be
No.
wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, and somebody else is asking about laundry. Quite
Every-
a number of the
yeah.
Airbnbs that we have
I think
laundry
they
available.
all have houses.
which is
Or
pretty
have
amazing,
laundries.
really.
Yeah, have washers. They all have washers. All right, so, guys, if you ordered soap, I am shipping as fast as I can, but please be patient. I have over 250 orders now that the soaps are cured. I am going as fast as I can, but I only have so much energy. So please note that just go look at your tracking information. If you have not got tracking information yet, that means I'm not working on yours yet. I'm getting the 1st of April's, the first 2 weeks of April done first, and then the last 2 weeks of April. The soap store is closed now. I have sold out of, I had like 6 of one soap left, but I've sold out of everything else. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting me. I hope to have all the soaps shipped by Monday or Tuesday at the latest. So please like, subscribe, and share. Please check out our Dining on a Dime cookbook. And if you can't afford it, go to livingonadime.com, where we have thousands of free recipes and tips on how to save money on your grocery bill and get out of debt.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, and share, and give us a great big thumbs up because you love us and you want to see more of us. And we will see you guys next time.
And we'll take you with us.
See, aren't I a little bit perkier?
You are a lot perkier. Wow.
See, I think that thing worked this morning.
We're looking forward to taking all of y'all on our trip with us. Are you going to stop
Yes.
the show, Dave?
You ready?
Bye.
Bye.
5, 4,
Wow.